Hey, it's Faux Sung Elizabeth Cookye, CEO, Mistress Secretary of Goddesses Incorporated, and like I said again, the ultimate mascot of anything dealing with anime, fighting video games, and Bisoto Senshi universe. Okay, today's episode is episode 12. Solid episode 12. No 12.5, no 12.62, a solid episode 12. And today's topic is Hollywood and movies from comic books. Now, there's a very special friend of mine back home in New York City that goes to CTF Arcade. He goes by the name of Yuki, but his girlfriend was very interested in my videos and my blog on YouTube and wanted to ask that I talk about why Hollywood messes up a lot of comic books made into movies. So today's topic is exactly that. And a good example of that for today's episode is X-Men. For many years, Marvel has invested in their X-Men series since like the late 60s, early 70s, and even before then, because after World War II, post-World War II, America needed something to believe in. And comic books with companies like Archie and Marvel and Detective Comics DC was a new way to break into the entertainment industry, to give the people something to believe in, get their minds off the war and off the people that were dying during that time. Now, when we look at Hollywood and the way they transform even animations to movies, but in this case we're talking about comics to movies, they don't really have a clear perception of what's going on. And since Marvel is such a big plethora of storyline and historical, it's more like a chronology. They have their own Bible, their own history. It's almost impossible at times to actually get the picture straight. When Hollywood decided to make the X-Men into a live-action movie, instead of just following the storyline and understanding that Marvel is broken up into different group afflictions, the X-Men being a group affliction, being the leader of Professor Charles Xavier, and amongst that, him having his college or his university for gifted students with mutant abilities, the next evolution in human life. The X-Men Gold Team was, by Oreo Monroe, Storm being the leader, X-Men Blue Team, Elizabeth, Betsy Braddock, Psylocke, for those who really are into storyline. That's just a piece of the group affliction. Then you have the Starjammers, then you have the Hellfire Club, then you have the Shi'ar Empire, Generation X, X Factor, and so forth, And constantly Marvel is making crossovers with different other comic book worlds. And then for us in the video game and anime universe, X-Men has made many crossovers with Street Fighter and also itself. It's folded on itself even in the Marvel universe, dealing with Spider-Man and Iron Man and the Incredible Hulk. So for Hollywood to actually make the X-Men movie exactly X-Men, they would have had to gone beyond. But I felt that if we had the right producers and the right people that were invested, the same people that were invested in Lord of the Rings and the same people that were invested in Harry Potter, we could have actual comic book translations. There's no reason why now in the world that we can't have a correct video game, anime, or comic book translation in a live action movie with the right people that not only look like the characters, that not only wear the actual outfits, wear the actual outfits, because all those damn music videos on BET with women wearing those skimpy thongs doing a lot of nothing, they can do the same thing because most of the women in those comic books wear the same skimpy shit, but they actually are doing something worth notable. So back to the idea. If we have the right producers and the right people invested in the project, we can get a correct translation. After the Matrix trilogy, there's no reason in the world why we couldn't have a correct Street Fighter movie. There's no reason in the world why we couldn't have a correct Mortal Kombat movie all over again. But then again, Mortal Kombat is one of the true movies that stayed true to its original format, minus the second incarnation called Annihilation, which sucked. Wrong cast, wrong people, wrong storyline. They fucked that shit up. And I know Ed Boon and John Tobias know that. But now Midway is kind of an iffy situation right now since they just got bought out by a different company. But I just wanted to put that out there. A shout out to Yuki's girlfriend from CTF. That's one of the reasons why Hollywood has a problem making comic books or anime or video games correctly into the store, into live action. getting the storyline correct because they don't have the right producers and the right people interested, invested in that market. We people in that world, video game, anime, and comic book dimensions, are viewed as an underground society. We're not viewed as regular, normal society. And should there ever come a point where human evolution has ever reached that point, in reality, I bet you that people would still be acting the same way they acted in those comic books in real life because people are afraid of what they don't know. So, this concludes the episode 12 of the Faux Sung Elizabeth Cookye Show. This time around there's no music in the background because this is an important special message that I wanted to get out to the universe, to all people of the comic book, anime world, and video game universe. Keep on following your dreams. Don't let nobody tell you nothing. You are a star, no matter what anybody say, what they think you may are. Okay? Keep on going. This is the queen. Okay? The queen of the anime world. Hollering back at you. Support my videos. Let me know what you think of my blog. And of course, say Cookie!